AM and FM.
WOON Woonsocket.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is Coffee Ann on ON Radio. Hey, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Boo.
We'll be watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show a little later on. We can all do the time warp. All right.
Oh, boy.
Do I get to throw toilet paper?
Sure. Only at the right time, though.
That's right.
Don't do it at the wrong time. People get upset.
That's right.
All right. This is Joe Callahan. Around the table, there's Dave Richards. Good morning,
We
Dave.
almost didn't need the bottles to miss the studio because the rain was pretty heavy there for a while.
Sure was.
But the rain is creeping out of here. Get it? And we'll be left with some wind and stuff like. Oh, good
Just
morning,
say hello,
everybody.
Dave.
Nice to have you with us.
All right. Melissa Murray's here as well.
Good
Hi, Melissa.
morning. Happy
And
Halloween.
Rich Elaine from Post 85 would join us around 8:30 this morning.
Who really isn't, by the way.
He's not Elaine?
His first name's Richard. He's not
All
Rich.
right. Our first segment sponsor is the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of
Just
Commerce.
a regular guy like the rest of us.
Dave, what do you see in your inbox from the Chamber?
The list from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. Welcome Wednesday, next Wednesday, November 5th, at the Woonsocket Education Center right here in Woonsocket. This event is free. However, you do have to register, and you do that by calling 334-1000 after 9 o'clock this morning. And go on over there and see who's there. Could be very interesting people. You never know. It's sponsored by Washington Trust. The Eggs and Issues Breakfast for November, featuring Wendy Schiller, the Professor of Political Science, International and Public Affairs Chair at Brown University, will be 8:30 to 9:30. Another morning event on November the 13th. Is that the Wednesday, 13th? Am I looking at it right?
That's a Thursday.
That's a Thursday. Okay, I thought I was wrong. But see, I was right. I was wrong. Kirkbrake Country Club in Lincoln. We're going to remind you again about this. Canva 101 for Small Businesses classes. This is a virtual class, and you get it by registering with the Chamber of Commerce from noon to 1 on November 19th. Another great idea, if you ask me, and just announced by our Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. All the arrangements are made. The event of the season. Which season, you ask? The Christmas season.
Oh.
The event of the
Too
season,
soon.
the holiday open house for the Chamber. One of the biggest things they do every year, very well attended. Starts at 5 o'clock on Tuesday, the second day of December. Tuesday is the second, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. At Bally's Twin River, Lincoln, because it's too big to be held anywhere else.
No, Tuesday's the 4th.
Tuesday is the 4th?
November 4th.
No. I'm talking about December, Friday.
December.
We're talking about the holiday open house. So, he's got to flip the pages on the calendar. I can't see the calendar from here.
December 2nd is a Tuesday.
You got equipment
Yeah.
in the way
Yes.
there. Tuesday is December 2nd? Or
Yes.
December 2nd is a Tuesday?
Is a Tuesday, yes.
Both of those things.
So I was wrong. I was right.
Yes,
Yeah,
again.
okay. And all the rest of that, call up and find out all about it right after the show is over. It's 334-1000. The Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce sponsors this portion of conversation on Coffee Ann each Friday morning.
All right, Dave, thank you. All right, a little public service announcement before we begin. If anyone needs any dead pine needles, please come down to the radio station and take them off my car.
You got a pine tree in your...
My silver car is now orange.
Oh.
Well, the wind last night and the rain,
Yeah.
they attached themselves to the car.
Because of the wet.
Yeah.
Because of the wetness,
Yeah.
right.
wet. I'm
You
like,
don't have enough surface area to be
and
blown away by
look-
the wind.
I'm looking around at other cars. I'm the only one with stuck on pine needles.
You're the only one that parked under a pine tree.
Well, there's no other place to park. that's
That's
where
true.
it
He
goes.
doesn't have a lot of options where he lives.
So there he goes.
Yeah. So.
All right, that's just what I'm dealing with
Can
right
I
now.
just say before I have to go take care of something? Can I just say what a wonderful experience we had yesterday?
I was going to bring that up, Dave. Yes.
And you were with me, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa helped me load the car. Helped
Yeah.
both of us load our car. It took two
Two cars full of
to
food.
get all the stuff from the lobby that was donated to
Yep.
the food pantries 2 cars it took to bring it up to the
so
food pantry
wonderful. Yeah.
yesterday.
We went over to Holy Trinity right here.
We
on Park
did
Ave.
because they were open at the time, and it was quite nearby, and it was next to another stop I had to make.
Mm-hmm.
And so we chose to go to Holy Trinity. When we went in, they had a line
Of people to get food.
of people to get food, right? And when we were bringing in, 4 or 5 carriages worth of stuff,
Yes.
heaped up. And we just kept making more trips out to the cars and bringing the stuff in. They were bowled over by the generosity of the folks that listen to our station, and very, very thankful. In fact, before we left, I saw them putting a lot of the canned goods up on the shelves
Immediately.
because they had empty shelves there.
Yeah.
And they told us, you remember the numbers better because I was just overhearing it while I was doing something else, Joe. One of the workers there was saying that they are seeing a big uptick in families coming in looking for food.
They said they normally get like 50 families a week, but they had 50 families by Wednesday.
Yeah.
And so they got more people yesterday, and they're expecting more people today, and I don't know what they're going to have on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
It's a
Ton
very
more
busy food
family.
pantry to begin with.
It
Yes.
is. And that's just one of the 7. It
right.
happens to be right
Yeah.
next to ours, and it was very convenient to bring the stuff over yesterday. I think we'll try to spread it around amongst different food pantries, perhaps. I don't know. But anyway, the lobby is now, you can walk in it. You can stand in it. Couldn't do that yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, I was bowled
Hand
over
me
by
that
the
box.
generosity
Oh,
of
step over that
our
box.
Of our listeners. Really, just the folks
Really?
that came
now
out. It
this
was
is why
incredible.
I've always been lousy at the Price is Right. How much? I think we had at least $400 worth of food.
I wouldn't
sure.
be surprised.
Or more.
We do
More,
know
probably
that one of our first donors who brought in boxes and boxes did so, and you don't have to do this, folks, but they chose to do this. They said they spent $200
Yeah.
on food, bought it specifically to bring here and get it donated to the food pantries. Really, really generous. I won't embarrass them by saying their names because I know them, but very, very nice people. They said they spent $200,
Yeah.
and then we had
More.
oh yeah, more and more. We stacked stuff on top of their stuff.
Yeah.
It was, you could walk in the door and you wouldn't see Denise behind her desk because there
Yep.
was like
Yep.
there was baked beans and
Yeah.
cans of this and stuff like
Mac and
that all in the
cheese.
way.
Yeah, I took a photo and you could not see Denise in the photo. So
She was there at her desk.
yeah, she
you
was
see-
there. She was there.
You should
Did you
have wave,
post that?
Denise. You can see her
No,
hand.
I'm gonna post. I'll post it right now. I actually didn't post it because I had a lot
look
going
later
on
today.
yesterday with car stuff and.
Yeah. Look later today. Melissa's going to post what it looked like before we went
Yeah, incredible,
yesterday.
incredible. But I would say, you don't have to feel like you have to go out and
No, you
like
don't.
buy a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
if
no,
you
no,
have
no.
stuff, and I saw this on Wednesday when I went to go help out at another food pantry in the city, where people were coming in and donating, and one woman came in and she said, "Oh, she was the recipient of a donation box, but there was already filled and there were things in it that she's like, well, I can't eat these things, so I'm going to gift
Mm-hmm.
it back to you. It's canned, it's not expired, it's all good stuff."
Right.
So she basically was able to trade it in at this place
So
for
she's
things
on a
that she
restricted diet and
That's
couldn't
right.
eat that, but doesn't want
Right.
to see it go to waste.
Exactly. So she donated it back, and then was able to do kind of
Very
like
nice.
pick out her own shopping, because
Well-
sometimes you get a box and sometimes you get to pick your own stuff.
Right.
Don't
depending on
think
where
you have
are.
to come in here with $200 worth of stuff.
No,
If you
absolutely
just got a
not.
couple of cans, bring them in because it all adds up.
Right, one or two, anything helps.
And we're still
Talk about-
collecting. We're still collecting today and
We
tomorrow.
are.
Yep.
Right, sure.
Yep.
We haven't stopped. So.
Until the
Yep.
crisis is over and they tell us to knock it off.
Yeah.
All right. So, but the reason we're doing it, of course, is because each of the individual food pantries run by volunteers, and they're only open for a short time on certain days.
That's right.
And so, to make it easy for the donors, we felt, well, we're open, 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. Plus, we're going to open up Saturday hours tomorrow. You'll be here, Melissa.
I'll be here, yep.
9 to noon tomorrow to accept donations. And then we'll worry about getting them to the food pantry at the right day and time for you, just for your convenience. I got to tell you, some of the nicest things. The nicest people over at the food pantry yesterday when we were donating. But there's one little story I want to leave you with before we close out talk on this. You talk about really nice people who are in line at this food pantry, and boy, I'll tell you how nice. One young lady took one of the carriages out with the stuff that she needed out to her car, loaded in her car. When she came back with the cart, she says, "Let me help you unload your car," bringing things in. And she was not a big person. She was a small person. I was afraid she was going to hurt herself. So I started saying, "Well, no, thank you. I'll take care of it myself. I'm a big boy." And she wouldn't hear of it. She said, "I'm going to help." And she grabbed one end of a box, and I grabbed the other end of a box, put it in her cart, put it in my cart. There were 3 big boxes, as you know, Joe, that came in with cans in them, and they were pretty big and heavy. So anyway, really nice people. We're helping nice folks. I encourage you to keep it up if you choose to, and we'll just make sure, we promise you, we'll get it to the right place so somebody will have benefit of it.
All right, just donate here today, 985 Park Avenue, between now and 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Tomorrow 9 to noon.
That's right. And when we're down there, we're unloading stuff. Melissa and one of the workers there saw, we had a case of these particular cans, and not that you have to go with this stuff, but she saw what he had, and it was Chef Boyardee.
Yep.
Spaghetti and meatballs, stuff like that. She goes, "Oh, we can use this."
Yep. Yeah.
And it was immediately up on the shelf,
especially
so
if you
have
finicky kids.
Well, kids,
right?
The kids are going to love it. And it's certainly easy to make, and nice and
Just
nice and simple.
Heat and eat.
Heat
Easy.
and eat is how it goes. So,
Yeah.
And what was, it's gotten a little on the disheartening side is I thought we brought over a ton of stuff, and we did bring over a ton of stuff.
We did, yeah.
And there's still empty shelves.
Yeah.
Even with a ton of stuff we brought over, I'm like, there's so much more that could be here.
So let's put it this way, for folks who, and I will say, like, if you still have your November benefits, they stay active. They don't get shut off tomorrow. You keep those November benefits. So just make sure, if you have your EBT card, that you check the balance on that. Unfortunately, it would not be loaded tomorrow. So in preparing for that, right?
Well, here in Rhode Island, isn't the governor said everyone's going to get something?
Not everybody.
Everybody, okay.
Mostly families with kids, and they're only going to get half of what they normally would.
I thought it was going to be less than half.
Right. So a lot of single folks who are disabled, a lot of seniors, who a majority of SNAP recipients are seniors and children, not like people who, and a lot of them are working families that just don't make enough. That's why they call it the supplemental nutrition. So those folks, how do you get by on half or nothing, right?
What do you cut out?
Right. Because a lot of the, folks that I talk to, their electric bill is sky high. The rents are raising higher. There is no extra left over, right? And it's just really hard. And I imagine, and I don't have children, but when you get given a box and there's nothing in it that your kids want to eat, it's so much nicer to be able to go to one of these places and be like, okay, this is something that my kids will eat, right?
Eat this.
Like, yeah. So like cereal, Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, and so we had a lot of that yesterday. Yeah. The Chef Boyardee, of course, canned vegetables, lots of cereals.
Cereal and shelf-stable milk is really important.
And oatmeal. Yep. There was a lot of that as well. So that's going to help. And rice, and that's going to help out.
Yeah, so thank you, everybody. And hopefully the federal government will get its act together, and
we'll see what happens.
I said, we just need to lock them in a room and say, okay, you can have some water.
No one leaves.
No one leaves until you figure this out. Yeah. We're not going to keep giving you your paycheck.
Yeah.
You just stay in there. You don't get to shower. You just stay in there till you figure it out. I think it's a great plan.
But they're not getting together until Monday.
No.
Because they all had to go home, for Halloween? Halloween's a wonderful time, but it is not a holiday.
And healthcare for life.
Yeah, I know. All right, moving on to other things. We always say, well, things could be worse. And I didn't realize this, but down in Newport, the city has now decided, well, we really should sell, or we should donate the carousel that's at Easton's Beach. It's not there anymore. They've been storing it since 1952.
What?
The panel has debated the fate of the carousel for months before deciding it could not find a suitable location for its return. They were thinking of bringing it back.
Yeah,
put it up. We can't put it anywhere. So the carousel, the 1952 carousel, was stored away due to risk from erosion and flooding. Okay, maybe it hasn't been put away since 1952. The carousel is built in 1952. So I read this a little wrong. I said, well, I'm thinking it was stored away in 1952 at a cost of $48,000 a year. I said, did my math. That's $3.5 million that the city of Newport is just handing over to somebody.
So
like,
it
that's
was
a
built
ton
in,
of money.
Built in 1952.
Yes,
Does
so I
it say
don't-
if it was one of those ones where you get the ring ones?
Doesn't
where you-
say.
Oh, I loved those as a kid.
yeah.
There's one of those in Westerly.
There's one in Fall River, too, named Battleship Cove. Just that the ride has been sitting in storage at a cost of almost $48,000 a year. It's now up to the Newport City Council to decide the next steps for the carousel. So I really wish they had it in the story. Well, what year did it go into storage? And maybe this should have been decided a long time ago.
Yeah.
This has got.
Yeah.
Why are we spending all this money to store it?
It could have gone to rehab.
Yeah, on the off chance we might be able to build it again. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't like that. All right, we're going to take our first break here on the Coffee and program. The first segment sponsor of Coffee and has been the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. Please check them out online at nrichamber.com. We do have a note to get to. We will when we come back here on the Coffee and program.
First news, best music. You're tuned to ON Radio.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All that coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON AM and FM.
It is Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. My name's Joe Callahan. I'm here with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and Rich Lane is joining us at the Coffee and table. Hello, Rich.
Hello.
How about those Bruins?
Hey,
Three out of four victories. Okay.
Small sample.
We're going in the right direction.
We'll see.
All right. Before we get to the note, I just want to bring this up because I got all excited, Melissa, because Channel 12 had the story that the superintendent of schools in Smithfield has broken her silence. Oh, great! About what's going on there with the whole hazing incident, alleged hazing that took place. And I read what she said, and I said, this says nothing. And I don't know if you heard it, but this is a statement she put out. And this is from Superintendent Dawn Bartz. Our district has taken this matter seriously and acted in accordance with our policies. We are actively exploring ways to strengthen programming for Smithfield students that reinforces respect, empathy, and inclusion, which are the core principles of our school community. I care deeply about every student in our schools and about the trust our community places in us. My focus is on ensuring that our schools remain safe and welcoming for all.
So
That's it. And when they asked her about, well, what about the whole thing?
Right, where these kids were reinstated.
On the
and,
investigation and like that. And all she said from that, quote, at the advice of legal counsel, I've been told to limit my comments. And then the lawyer came back and said, yes, that's what we told her. Just don't say anything. Is basically what they told her to say.
But folks are mad because they haven't
got no
been
answers.
transparent.
That's right.
Right, the lack of transparency is
Now they expect to have a some meeting next week.
Yep.
Do we have this? They will meet. The school committee will meet next week to discuss it. And like they said, Dawn Bartz says she responded in accordance with their policies. 5 Smithfield football players were recently suspended, but they came back to practice, and then they weren't suspended. So people have a lot of questions.
The individual that they hazed showed up, and then all of a sudden they were there.
Yeah.
And then nobody can explain why and what the policy is and why they were back.
And so the student and their parents went to Smithfield Police to file a complaint.
Yep.
So
They
more
should
on
at
this.
least, if their policy stated that they could only suspend them for X amount of days and they were going to be be allowed to come back, or there were next steps, that should have been expressed to the parents of
Yes.
the victim, right? Just, I think that's the frustration, and I know that my colleague in the Senate from Smithfield is very
Beside themselves.
he was a state police officer also, and
okay.
right. So he said, we're not really happy with this lack of transparency, and
bet.
we feel like we're owed some answers, but I don't know that you're going to get them.
When you look at the comments that people are making online, and people are saying this has been the norm in Smithfield for years. I'm like, I didn't know things were people were so bad,
I didn't know
upset
that.
with the Smithfield situation, and
No, you
and
never
so
hear
they're
really
calling their
anything.
town another derogatory name instead of Smith. So.
Oh.
Dave wanted to know about this. We brought it up last week. The firefighter in Boston that was convicted of rape and what they were going to do with him. And Dave said, are we sending him back to Ireland or not? The answer, Dave, is no. We're not sending them back to Ireland.
We're going to keep him in the pen right here.
He was sentenced to between 7 and 9 years in state prison right here in Massachusetts. He has already served 500 days. So that'll count towards the 7 to 9.
Is he a legal citizen? I assume so.
The United States?
Yep.
No.
No.
He's a legal citizen of
He's Irish
Ireland.
national.
So
Yeah.
why are we paying for him?
Because the crime was done here.
I know, I understand that, but
All right.
we all know how much it costs to keep someone in prison. It's a large amount, so I don't know why we would send him back.
Rich, you're the
Let
correctional
them pay
officer.
for it.
How
Let
many
them pay
people
for it.
from outside the country were you in
Oh,
charge
God,
of?
please.
Oh, say a lot. That's just how it's done.
I just
right?
It's done.
Yeah,
that
well,
way.
well, why do you look? I don't want to get political on
no,
it.
don't.
But why do you think they, especially in Massachusetts, being a liberal state like it is, why do you think that they're so anti-immigration people standing outside of the prisons when inmates finish their terms? Right? I mean, they don't want to cooperate,
Yeah.
right? They just let these guys out, knowing that they're illegal, and they don't notify anybody. It's so, I mean, we can get into a whole political spectrum with this stuff, and
So that's
I
just
just
a-
don't want to go down that road.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's all.
Well, it's just that
Right.
you've witnessed many people
God,
from
yes.
outside the United States that are
Absolutely.
prisoners
Absolutely.
in Massachusetts.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
they've gone through our process
Our
and been
legal
found
process.
guilty and worthy of punishment
All right,
in
we had-
our country. Now, you got to take that down the road a couple more steps, and you'll understand why. I'm sure that Melissa is chomping at the bit to say this. What if you didn't do that?
Put them in
Then-
prison
What? Right.
and send them back to their own country?
You have to have a rule that applies to all.
Yeah.
All right. And now you're going to be arresting people who may be fugitives in their own countries. You send them back to their country, and they're immediately going to be killed. And so, what does that
Possibly,
make
yeah.
you? Because I'm old enough to remember when those kinds of discussions were going on. You can't send him back. He's going to be killed by the regime that's in power there and
Ireland?
stuff like that. So.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Well, it's the
Well,
same
easy
thing.
to say that, but our society will not sit well with that.
Well, it's the same thing if you're a United States citizen.
I
and
was
you-
referring to
True.
you because
Yeah,
I
true.
knew that that's what you meant,
yeah.
right?
But if you're a U.S. citizen and you convict a crime in Spain, you're going to do time in Spain.
Yeah,
They're not going to
right.
send you back to the U.S. and say,
Right.
be better.
Oh, and
Depending on what country, and you're going to wish you were here.
I was
right?
stationed in Spain in the military.
Okay.
And there's no right to a speedy trial in Spain.
No, that's just here.
Like if
And
you're
a few other-
sitting, I mean, it was like this one. It was like this when I was over there. Now I don't know how different it is. Like we're talking, God knows how many years later now. But you could sit in a local jail,
County jail.
in Spain for like
years
3 years,
before your
and then
trial came
if your trial comes up and the judge says you get 5 years, well, the 3 that you spent in that local jail doesn't count.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to spend some time.
All right. Moving on.
Various societies have different rules.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
think you could get away with in our society. You couldn't get away
Probably
with just
not.
sending them
No,
back.
no.
All right. Note called in 766-1240. Back to SNAP benefits and the situation. And it just says the Democrats and the GOP have a, quote, obligation to make sure people are fed.
Yeah.
I don't think I agree with that statement. nowhere does it say that the government says they're going to feed you.
No, don't worry about it. It says it somewhere, but it's just not official law.
The food stamp program was temporarily installed in the Depression era. However, it was enacted in 1964 and has been prevalent since. If you can't solve the government shutdown in the next few days, and they won't, then at least come to the rescue with contingency, emergency to continue the SNAP program without interruption.
There is contingency funds, and that could be authorized, but
We're in a blinking match, Joe.
Yep.
Neither side wants to blink.
Well, I know.
yep.
They have
At the
forsaken
expense
their.
of all of their constituents, and I hope you all remember this when these folks come up for re-election.
Well, that's
Re-election.
just fine, Melissa, but you can't throw them all out.
At
It's
once.
just, when I say can't, I don't mean that it's impossible to do it. I just mean that it can't happen because there is no political will that will sustain
Yeah,
long enough
That's right.
to, nor are there enough qualified people to replace every member of Congress.
That's arguable, but
I don't know about that. No, I don't see it. I just don't see it.
All right.
Then again, they might be more qualified than the ones that are there now.
we got another note at Colin. Back to the guy from Ireland.
I blame the parties.
Who's going to be in
not
prison
the
here?
Individuals.
Someone trying to be funny. Don't deport the guy back to Ireland. Rosie O'Donnell already moved there, and there's a thing in the Constitution prohibiting cruel and unusual punishments.
Ta-da.
Not a big Rosie fan, I guess.
I guess not.
All right, let's hear it for this
Well,
guy.
she's a very honest person, but disgusting.
Let's hear it for this guy down in Worcester, who was very lucky. You know, when you're on the ground and you're working on the boat, and the boat falls on you and you
Yeah.
survive. Wow, you are lucky.
I'm
She
a little under my boat today.
was rescued yesterday morning after being trapped. The person was working underneath the vessel when it slipped off whatever it was on. First responders secured, stabilized, and then lifted the 30-foot boat. Doesn't say how much it weighs. EMS provided on-scene medical
30-foot
care.
boat?
It's going to
Say
weigh
a
a
couple
lot.
of tons.
Yeah.
EMS provided on-scene medical care and took the victim to a trauma center, and they're in stable condition.
Okay, that's
so
good.
He survived having
They're,
the
they're
boat
in with the
Lucky.
horses in stable
Lucky.
condition, right?
won't fall on them. All right, Melissa, the ACLU of Rhode Island is suing the governor.
Why not?
Why not? Because
We
they're
haven't
saying,
heard much from them recently.
He said,
They must be bored.
or they said that the governor restricted their protest at his State of the State address last January. Do you remember seeing these people?
I remember talking about it.
Okay. Protesters
I
were
do
denied
too.
access to the State House Rotunda,
I remember you talking about it.
I was mad.
and they were told to go to the less visible bell room,
Yep.
okay,
Yep.
which is at the rear of the building. Now, the ACLU argues protesters were denied their constitutional rights of freedom of speech and freedom of assembly. The lawsuit seeks a permanent injunction to prohibit a similar occurrence in the future.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to go anywhere because they still had their speech and they still got to assemble, just not where they wanted to.
So I have lots of thoughts on this, but I'm just going to
All right, go.
I'm going to tell you my experience. So the State of the State was that evening. We went into session and we were waiting to go over to the House because the Senate goes over to the House. We all go into the bigger chamber, and then the governor comes in. Everybody comes in. So there were protesters down on the first floor. There are often protesters. There were a lot of them. You know, people were upset. We have never restricted, no matter what the issue was in the
Define
General
we.
Assembly.
Define
We collectively, the General Assembly,
Okay.
we who work at the State House, the governor, whenever there was a big gun bill coming up, or there was an abortion bill, or any other like really emotional issue that came up, we would always have people. We had people outside the doors. We had to close the doors to the chamber. We had people outside the doors chanting so loudly that we could barely be heard above the microphones. But you know what? It's their right to do it. It's their right to be there. It's the people's house. In my opinion, I'm speaking for myself. That day, I went over to walk to my office, which is near the stairs, and a woman, I don't know who she was. She's from the governor's office. She said, "Oh, where are you going?" I said, "Well, I'm going to my office. It's right there." And she said, "Okay." And "You're not allowed to go down the stairs." And I said, "What do you mean I'm not allowed to go down the stairs? This is the State House. People can go where they want." And she said, "Well, the governor has restricted." And I said, well, "Okay." So then
Did she know you were a state senator?
Nope.
Oh, okay. She just thought you were someone off the street.
Yep. No one was allowed to move around freely.
So
Apparently.
she got first-hand treatment. as
So
a citizen.
then I got a little heated. I'm getting a little heated now, actually. And I said, what do you mean? Mm-hmm. I said, I have constituents downstairs. Do you mean to say if they would like to come up and see me in my office, which people do all the time, happy, mad, yell at me, whatever. Mm-hmm. They can do that. She said, no, they need to be escorted. I said, oh no.
Escorted by you?
Not me.
Oh,
by
okay.
someone else.
Someone else.
I said, absolutely not. And she said, well, I said, who's telling you to do this? She said, well, the governor said so. Then I went into my office. I shut the door, expressed my emotions.
Screamed?
I was pretty mad.
Okay.
You know, and then I went out. When I was a little calmer, and I said, "You can't do this," but they did. So they kept everybody, and they had a bunch of Capitol Police officers there, and again, you know, they have like when we have a abortion rally or gun rally or any other big issue, there were never that many Capitol Police there. So, in my opinion, yes, it was wrong. I didn't know about this suit. But I can tell you that day, I was extra heated.
Extra angry.
That's all I'll say. Because
put on your angry eyes.
Yeah, just because you know what, this isn't how we do things. And you know, if you're gonna run for public office, you're gonna get yelled at. You know, unless someone threatens you, then you know you just gotta take it. And I've taken plenty. So that's all I'll say.
All right. Before we take our first break, we talked about this yesterday about the ruckus at the Market Basket in West Bridgewater, where the two women were accused of stealing.
I saw that.
Yes.
That was so cool to watch.
You got to hand it to one of the managers who was smacked in the face by one of the women in the video with her cell phone. She just came right across with it. And just cracked him right in the face, and he didn't respond. He didn't hit back. He took it and just kept doing it, and kept going forward. I'm like, wow. But it was brought up yesterday on Coffee. And gee, I wonder if alcohol was involved. Well, sure enough, several counts: assault and battery, resisting arrest, and driving under the influence.
Oh,
So, not good. All right, we're gonna take a break.
Order Uber Eats.
Well, that was one of the things they were saying, is that they were Instacart shoppers. And so so it's already been paid for, so they were just leaving. And
they both worked for.
Oh, they said they did, and
well,
then they said, oh well, the order got canceled and like that, and but then they couldn't find any order from Instacart for what they were
sure
taking with them.
Sure.
All right, break time here on Coffee and more coming your way. Time for the weather forecast, being brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.
Partly sunny skies today with a high of 57 degrees and a wind from the southwest up to 32 miles per hour. Tonight, Halloween, partly cloudy, overnight low of 42, west winds up to 40 miles per hour. Saturday's weather, sunshine and 56, Sunday, sunshine and 54, Monday, sunshine and 57. Tuesday, mostly sunny skies and 55. Wednesday, sunshine and 55 again. And on Thursday, chance of showers, but partial sunshine with a high of 55 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street under mostly cloudy skies, we have 54 degrees. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Wow! Can you believe Gators Pub is celebrating its 35th year in business? Maybe the key to Gators' success is our super friendly staff. Or maybe the fact that the chefs at Gators are constantly making some of the freshest and most delicious dishes around. If you've never been, come on down and check out our great lunch specials from Monday through Thursday. They also offer complimentary soup during lunch. Watch the Boston Red Sox on one of our many TVs while enjoying classic apps like fresh potato skins or our famous pita chips. Come watch a volleyball game and have a burger or one of our newest cocktail creations. Gators is located on Route 102 in North Smithfield, about 1 mile before Wright's Chicken Farm. Come say hello.
Are you retired or retiring soon? That's great. Congratulations. You may be retiring, but your money can't afford to retire. I'm Ed Carew of the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Mendon Road, Suite 3, Cumberland, Rhode Island. At the Carew Investment Group, we offer personal investment management of client money, especially from the proceeds of their 401k distribution after they leave the workforce. So to find out more about our services and for professional management of your investments, call Ed or Paul Carew at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, it is Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callion here with Rich Elaine, Melissa Murray, Dave Richards, who happens to have this week's Valley Breeze newspapers in his hands. The Valley Breeze is the sponsor of this portion of the Coffee and program.
Well, last week I couldn't look at the front page for you. I want to make sure we didn't miss it this week. Dave's Market is going to open to expansion in Cumberland and the surrounding area. Ethan Shorey has a story on that. There's a nice little picture of Dave's location in Cumberland. Definitely use some more space. We all know that, right? And
do they want to take over Chapel Pharmacy? Is that the
well, I
the
didn't read
space
the
we're
story
talking
yet.
about?
I'm giving you the headlines.
I'll have to read the story.
Yes, we will have to read the story.
All
And
right.
we have copies of the Valley. I'll hand you this copy when we're done, Joe.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. With SNAP benefits shut off, residents advocates fear the worst. There's an all staff story on how that's working out there in various local communities. And of course, the Whipple-Cullen condo residents fear new housing will come crumbling down. Sophia Barr has a story there in the Cumberland and Lincoln edition
Not
of the
built
Valley
very
Breeze.
well. Is that the problem there?
Well, we'll find out
Have to
when we
read
read
the
it.
story.
In the Woonsocket, North Smithfield, and Blackstone edition, we have a youngster here sitting in a pile of flowers. Baskets upon baskets upon baskets of flowers. And you know, I thought I recognized the background, and indeed it is. It's Justin Degnan, who's 15, from North Smithfield, finds himself surrounded by autumn colors during the Spooky Spirits Night at Goodwin Brothers Farm Stand last Saturday. There's more pictures in the breeze this week. Also, Woonsocket homeless shelter slated for opening in a matter of days, they say again. Corey Plant has the story. We'll cross our fingers and hope so. And then we have a story, this story that we were talking about, the all-staff story, is also run in this edition as well. An Echo Lake Trail project seeks funding to revive the former campground. Anybody remember Moroni's campground?
Oh,
up
you
there
must.
in Echo? I certainly do.
Yeah.
And I knew the family. I spent a lot of time there. It's in not really my neighborhood, but the next neighborhood over. When I lived in Burrowville in Pascoag, and so there's a move afoot for the old Echo Lake campground on the west side of the Pascoag Reservoir. Will soon become home to Northern Rhode Island's first machine-built mountain biking trail network.
Oh, cool.
They certainly have the land for it and the topography. Beautiful place up there, and I know that I've got some heartstrings for it because of the many wonderful times I've had there with friends and stuff down through the years. And of course, knowing Helen Maroney for so many years, she was on our board of directors for the Blackstone Valley Tourism Council and served with her for 20 years on that board. And so, of course, the family grew up, they dispersed, and no one wants to run it as a campground anymore. We get it. Maybe that's the best thing to
work,
do,
yeah.
right? Maybe that's the best thing to do. Everything changes,
Yeah.
and there's a beginning and end to everything. But here's an interesting idea for a new beginning out there at the campground.
Yeah.
Read all about it in the Valley Breeze this week, free where you shop.
This is funny, Dave. I haven't told you this story. We all get the spam calls that come in.
I never did until I got an iPhone.
My son, who lives up in Maine, got a spam call, and he said it was from Pascoag, Rhode Island. And now he works with a guy that grew up in Rhode Island,
Yeah.
down south a little bit.
Right.
And he asked his coworker, "Have you ever heard of this place?" They had never heard.
Of Pascoag?
And of course they're saying it wrong.
Yeah.
Pascoag, that's what
Sure.
they're calling it. And
Some people say it Pasco without the
Yeah.
G, and that's a mistake. There's a family called Pasco with no G.
Oh, okay.
And people confuse that for the town, for the village.
So I just tell him, I said, tell your friend, it's a real village in the town of Burrowville. He should know the town.
Yeah.
So I said, that's just, so the spam calls come from all over. It's a 401
Yeah.
number, and it came up on his phone. It says,
Well, they have their
Pascoag,
own
Rhode
exchange
Island.
out there, 568.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Rich Elaine, what's going on at the Post?
Oh,
over
my
there on
God.
River
Yeah,
Street?
I tell you what, we got such a busy November, but I'm just going to back up to the trunk or treat that we had last Saturday.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. I
Great.
couldn't believe the turnout, the people. in the Fairmont neighborhood, and if you came from outside the Fairmont neighborhood and had a good time, great. I tell people all the time when I come in, you don't realize how much, I don't think people out there realize how much we do out of that American Legion post, not only to help the veterans, but to help the community. So if you want a great place to come down to, you know, come on down to the American Legion Post 85, join one of the entities down there. Come on down and help us out. I can't say it enough. We do such good work for the community and for veterans. So come on, check us out. Anyhow, here's what's going on.
Did you dress up?
No, I did not. No, I did. No, I did not. I did not dress up. But still, I went down there, and, you know, like I said, the turnout was fantastic.
Good.
And I saw, you know, it is. I gotta say this. I'm going back down. I had left the area, and I'm going back down to the hall down at the post, and like off to the side, there's a mother and her kids and the aunt, and there were about 4 or 5 kids. I looked at the kids. Did y'all get a lot of candy? Yeah, we got a lot of candy. And one little girl comes up. Can we go get more? Can we go through again? I said, you can go through as many times as you want.
Your mother will let you.
Yeah, and the mother looks at me like,
thanks a lot.
Thanks. But anyhow, here's what's going on at the post. Tomorrow we got, on November 1st, we got one of our national vice commanders coming to visit the post, which is always nice. And he's scheduled to be there from 4 to 5 p.m. sometime during that period. So I'll be up there saying hello, and you know, and our commander will be there, and some of our other board members. So that's what's going on there tomorrow. Now on Saturday, November the 8th, okay, which is a week from tomorrow, we're having a 250th celebration up at the post. It's the nation's 250th birthday, but a unique thing about being 250 is that the Army, Navy, and my Marine Corps, URA, are celebrating their 250th birthdays also. So on November 8th, we're going to have from 2 to 6 p.m. some food and some music down the American Legion Post. So if you're a veteran out there and you want to come celebrate the birthday of the Army, Navy, and the Marine Corps, hoorah, and food and music, then, you know, come on down and just have a good time and meet some of us. And if you're not a member, you can become a member that day.
Can you say Marine Corps without saying hoorah?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a rule.
Not allowed.
No, okay.
Not allowed.
Gotcha.
Okay. So next time you say Marine Corps, give it a hoorah. Hoorah. Okay.
Hoorah.
Hoorah. Okay, Saturday.
With gusto, right?
Yes.
With
Hoorah.
gusto, yeah. On Saturday, November 15th, which is the Saturday after the 250th celebration, we're going to do a spaghetti supper over at the American Legion Post from 4 to 7 p.m., and all the proceeds from this are going to go towards our courtesy vehicle, which is expensive to run, so we got to find some unique ways of raising money for the courtesy vehicle. So one of them is the spaghetti supper. Like I said, November 15th from 4 to 7 p.m., the donation is only $10. All right, so you go there, Jean Mishaw from New Beginnings, right? She's going to be there. She's going to be cooking up the pasta, so you know the food's going to be good. And we're going to have a couple of door prizes. Now, for this $10 donation, you get to eat, but the door prizes, we were able to score an autographed picture of the Bruins defenseman, Charlie McAvoy, with a certificate of authenticity, and an autographed puck with a certificate of authenticity, autographed by David Pasternak.
Cool.
Door prizes. Okay, so like I said, come buy your ticket for $10 a donation, have the spaghetti supper, and you get a chance at one of those door prizes on top of it. So good deal all the way around. Once again, Saturday, November 15th. Come on down to the Post. We got tickets on sale down there right now. Post is 870 River Street here in Woonsocket. Following Saturday, well, we got busy Saturdays, huh? Saturday, November the 22nd, which is my birthday. If anybody wants to buy me a gift, that's just fine. But anyhow,
I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you. On Saturday, November the 22nd, we got Henry's Heroes, which is New Englanders helping our veterans. And that's when we're going to do the car giveaway to the veterans down at American Legion Post 85. And that's from 11 to 2 p.m. All that's going to be going on. And I know you folks have mentioned on the air, you guys are actually going to pick the 6, 7, however many cars they're giving away. You're going to actually pick the recipients here. And on that day, on November the 22nd, we're going to have we're going to be serving up some dynamite. So we'll have some music up there. I'm sure New Englanders helping our veterans are going to have a lot of different things going on up there too to help their organization. But fantastic time. Bill down at Henry's Auto Repair here on Park Ave. What a nice guy.
He's the best.
Isn't he unbelievable? Bill's such a great person to do what he does down there. And, of course, Jim over at New Englanders Helping Our Vets, another great guy. But anyhow, come on down. And if you have never been to that car giveaway, I'm telling you, you're missing something. Because I just remember last year they had the older Mercedes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there was a female veteran. She had her 2 kids there, and her mother was there. Yeah. And when they ever opened up the envelope and saw they got that Mercedes,
jumping up and down.
I don't mind admitting that I had tears in my eyes.
It
was so emotional.
I always do. It always is.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to watch. So, like I said, come on down on Saturday, November 22nd to American Legion Post 85 and watch that car giveaway. And I'm sure Dave and
people shouldn't misunderstand. It happened to have been a Mercedes-Benz vehicle that was donated and then fixed, just like all the others.
Yeah, correct.
It was extra fun because it was a Mercedes.
Yeah.
And because everybody was eyeing it. She was the one that got it. You know? So that was. But don't get the wrong impression here. We're talking about people who really need a car.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
she'd have taken any car and been happy with it. But when all of the
someone's
different
got a
veterans,
Mercedes.
they had all 5 veterans around there, and they're saying, "I wonder which one you're going to get. I wonder what you have a favorite." Well, I'd like to get the Mercedes. Right? But then again, you got to keep something else in mind. You buy a Mercedes, you got to fix a Mercedes.
Oh yeah.
So keep that in mind.
The coolest part of the whole thing.
Insure it too.
The coolest part of the whole thing to me is like watching them open the envelopes individually and like looking the expression on their faces the minute they open the envelope.
Because inside the title of the car is there, and you can see exactly what it is.
Well, to me, one of the best parts of the program is that the veteran that wins the car, everything's all set. As far as registration, everything. I mean, you drive it off the lot, you're all set, you're good to go, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, there was one more little thing to that story last year, by the way, with Henry's Heroes. The young service lady was there with her kids, right? And she had her little daughter go over and pick the envelope.
Yes, I remember that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and the kid didn't know what they were doing, so you couldn't get any more fair than that. So here are the envelopes. Here, just take one, and he just reached over and grabbed it. And that was the one, and so she got an extra hug from mommy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got one more thing, because I know Joe wants to go to a break here, but we have our Thanksgiving Day meal on Thanksgiving Day, the 27th. This is about the 3rd or 4th year I think we do it down at the Post. If you got nowhere to go to Thanksgiving, you want to come and have a free meal, okay? Mm-hmm. Come on down to American Legion Post 85 on Thanksgiving Day, right around noontime. We have anything you can think of for a Thanksgiving meal, we'll be there. That's about all I can say on that.
All right, Rich, thanks. All right, break time once again here on Coffee AM. More coming your way. This portion of Coffee AM has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Since its founding, the Valley Breeze has been the trusted source for local news in the Blackstone Valley. Our readers and advertisers understand that shining a light on all aspects of our communities and doing it with some of the best local journalism makes these cities and towns better places. We believe that truth should triumph over rumors and misinformation. See valleybreeze.com or any of our 5 editions for more on how you can be part of this local news success story. The Valley Breeze, making our communities stronger by telling their stories.
ON Radio.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this, Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
ON AM and FM.
All right, it's Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan, along with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and Richard Lane. So, good news for me, everybody. And I'm sure you.
Okay.
Oh, good. Joe needs good news because I live in Massachusetts, and I heat my home with natural gas.
Yeah.
So my natural gas company is EverSource. Ever hear of EverSource?
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah.
EverSource is not getting the 13% rate hike it wanted for about 640,000 gas customers in Mass, of which I am one. It would have raised my average heating bill by about $41 a month starting tomorrow. And the decision from the Department of Public Utilities will save customers about $45 million this year.
Yeah,
and
great.
EverSource,
Good for your PUC.
EverSource called the rejection, quote, puzzling, and warned it will ultimately have greater impact on customers. Well, of course they're going to say that.
Yeah, of
but
course they are.
But I'm thinking about between EverSource and then there's Rhode Island Energy,
Yeah.
who gets whatever they want.
Yep.
Every
Yep.
time they ask
Yep.
for a raise, the PUC says, sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
right.
It's
Yeah,
a
go
rubber.
ahead.
It's a rubber stamp all
It's
the time in Rhode Island.
maddening.
It seems. But we do have. But then we have to deal with this fun stuff. You know, Amazon drivers are, they're people too, and yes, they are. And up in
Can't take instructions very well.
up in Cohasset, Massachusetts, which is just south of Boston, a wrong turn early yesterday morning caused delays for 2 trains on the MBTA Greenbush commuter rail line.
Looking at his GPS, and it told him to take a left.
So he took a left, and he ended up onto the railroad tracks and got stuck. At 6:30 in the morning when there's a lot of trains going.
He ain't the first driver to have that happen.
Right.
So the car...
Right? He's not the first driver. How many times have you been
Yeah.
there on Waze, and Waze told you to go someplace? I can't go that
can't
way.
go
It's a
that
one-way
way.
street.
Well, yeah, because you don't just blindly turn left
Yeah.
into a river.
That's
like
right.
some folks.
Right.
Oh,
No,
no, I don't
as
want
you
your car
as you
get
probably
stuck in
see, there's a lot of Amazon trucks out there.
Yeah.
But people are drivers are using their own cars for smaller deliveries.
No,
Yeah.
well, not only that,
Yeah.
those people don't work for Amazon.
No, they all work
a
for another company. Yeah.
They work for a third-party company that contracts with Amazon.
So the car got stuck. It had to be towed away, and it blocked the trains for about an hour. No injuries though.
You know something I saw in Milford? There is a street, Fruit Street.
I know what that is.
And it crosses South Main Street. And as you're driving into Milford on South Main Street, and there's a 4-way stop there.
Okay.
They make you stop. And there's an additional sign to your left if you're going up to Main Street in Milford. It says, no Amazon drivers
No
allowed
kidding.
on this street. Stop here.
And walk it?
No Amazon drivers,
never seen
no
that.
Amazon trucks
I've never
allowed
s-
on this street.
I've never seen that anywhere.
Neither had I.
Wow.
Fruit Street's very tiny.
Is that the reason?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never seen that
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah, tiny street.
So if you have your personal car, if you got a small package, you'll be okay. But those big blue vans are not allowed.
No Amazon trucks.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, Rich had a little incident on the bike path.
What?
Where in the bike path, Rich?
We're not going to whine, are we?
About halfway through.
But what town were you
exact
in?
spot. I don't even know. To
Oh,
be
okay,
honest.
you're on the
I
bike
just
path,
when
yeah.
I get on the bike path, I just drive.
Okay,
I don't
okay,
pay
all right.
attention.
So
but
what
anyhow,
happened?
look, I've said it many times before. On that bike, and the bike path is beautiful, by the way. They maintain it
Yep.
very well, and I love it. I love going down there because you want to know what? I don't want to drive my bicycle anymore on the roads.
Yeah.
Because
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my wife gets all nervous, so I say, you know something, I'm going to do a bike path from now on. And I say the bike path is safe.
Correct.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's very safe, and they've actually got like a road, like little lines, and they've
Yeah.
got little directions, like walk facing
This way.
the cyclist,
Yeah.
which
You should.
I'd say 70% of the people don't do.
Don't do it. Okay.
Okay? And like I said, follow the rules. The other day I'm going down the bike path.
Mm-hmm.
And about 30 feet before I get... Now, remember, like, I'm doing like 16, 18 miles an hour. on my
pretty good
bicycle,
clip.
which is a good clip for
On
an
a
old
bike.
guy old guy like me. All right, and I'm about 30 feet behind the people, and they're walking, like not facing me. 7 of them, all with dogs, all on the leash, stretched across the entire bike path.
Taking up the bike path.
Because they own it, Rich. They own it.
Just ask them.
And then I go,
You make
coming
them
up, coming through, and
Behind you, yeah.
I'm yelling it, not mad, but
I'm
I'm
behind
coming.
you. Yeah.
I'm coming. They decide that they're going to move.
Okay.
Not to the left. Half of them move to the left. A couple of them move to the right. The
But the leashes.
leashes all get tangled up with the dogs.
Oh, no.
And you hit the leashes?
And I hit the brakes on my bike, and like over I go.
Wow.
And I landed on the ground. I wasn't hurt,
Yeah.
okay, but just like
I'm on the ground though.
yeah. And they turn around and they say, "Are you all right?" And I'm not allowed to say on the radio the way I responded. But all I'm saying is that just do everybody a favor, not only me and people riding bikes, but people walking. Follow the darn rules on the bike path. It's meant for everybody. Not for 7 people walking their dogs, going in the wrong direction, letting all the leashes tangled up, can't figure out whether they want to move to the left or the right. Oh, by the way, if I'm coming up behind you on the bike path, or any cyclist should know, that when you come up behind a person, you say, on your left. That means we're going by on your left. That doesn't mean you move to the left.
Yeah.
Because that's happened before, too.
You're walking right in
Follow
front
the
of you.
rules. Is that hard, Dave? Is it hard to follow rules, Melissa? Is it hard?
And I don't like those retractable leashes because there's so many things that can happen. You know, you're supposed to keep your finger on it to keep it from the dog from like zip lining all the way out.
Yeah.
You can lock them, but sometimes they become
just let
unlocked
it
and
go.
then they like go around.
Oh, you
your
mean
legs,
like when I hit the leash with the front wheel of my bike and the dog goes,
Yeah, that's right.
You keep.
And I get yelled at?
I don't take my dog out because to public places because he's a hateful little animal. He hates everybody. But when I do walk him, I literally keep him on a short leash. He has to be next to me, right? And if we're out off of the beaten path, so to speak, or like in some wooded area, I'll let him out a little bit so he can do his business. But like you just. Even if I'm crossing the road, like they're supposed to be next to you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's obedient, but I keep him on a short leash.
Rules.
Yeah.
Well, I could say, from my observation, there's a reason they call it a bike path.
And
not
there's a dog
walking your
park.
dog path.
There's a dog
Now you
park.
want to walk the dog, okay, fine, but you're visiting.
Yeah.
This is not your path because you're visiting because you're not on a bike. If you are on a bike and it's a bike path, then that's the way it is.
I don't mind sharing.
Fine,
and
but
some
the fact
people,
is-
I've gone like cyclists going the same way I am, and I say on your left, and they move a little
move
bit
over.
over to the right,
Yep.
and I go by, and thank you. I say I'm nice. I seem like a real, you know what, on
Yes,
the radio.
yes.
But I am. I think I'm a pretty nice guy.
Courteous enough.
Follow
right?
the rules.
All right.
That's all.
It's a bike path.
It is Halloween, and
Trick or treat.
this woman in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, got a bit of a shock. She likes to have her medicine shipped to her, and a lot of people like to do that too. So she got a package, and she thought it was her medicine. And when she opened up the box, what's inside? Human arms and fingers, not her medicine.
What?
The Christian County Coroner's Office responded to the woman's home and took the body parts to the morgue. At this time, it is believed that a shipment error is to blame. Well, no kidding. For the mix-up, and that the body parts were intended for transplant and research purposes, but ended up at her home. And,
Boy.
And she
Wrong
great.
address.
Mean the person who was waiting
Waiting for a hand. I don't
waiting
know.
for fingers.
I don't know.
Was that an
And where's
Amazon
her-
truck that brought that?
I wonder if they were
doesn't
lady
say.
fingers.
It's
Get
not.
it?
No,
Lady
I
fingers,
get it.
Halloween
It's
candy.
This is not funny at all. It's not funny at all. But like,
Oh, it's a little humorous.
Rich and I are laughing. It's terrible because we're clearly terrible people.
All right. Well, but she probably wants to. Well, where's my medicine? Which she probably
right.
needs.
Yeah,
Where did that go? So kind of thing. All right, Dave. You got to get a hold of our mutual friend. We have a mutual friend in Hawaii, and
Yes.
say what is going on in Hawaii, what's
Paul
going on
Gardner.
out there. Nudists
Hi, Paul.
in Hawaii's sacred Maui Valley, prompting a public outcry. Witnesses say they've seen naked people and incidents of sexual activity on the edge of Maui State Park. They're telling authorities this is a family park and children should not be exposed to this such adult behavior. Now, nudity is not allowed at the Iowa? I don't know how you say that. Valley Monument. That's the name of the town. It's spelled IAO. Anyway.
Oh, that would be Yoa.
Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
All right. And it's unclear if officials plan to take any action against the people frolicking over there in Hawaii.
But it's not in the park. It's on the edge of the park. Is
The edge
what
of
I
the
thought I
park.
heard you say.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Well, what are you going to do? It's private property. It's not
You're
the
on
park.
the edge of the Maui State Park, so I don't know.
There's another Maui Wowie for you, friends.
Well, they've had problems with this. I don't know if you call it a problem, but on the Cape and just in Truro, which is just before you get to Provincetown, they're unofficial nude beaches, and the police just well. Are you causing any problems? No. Forget it. You know.
Reminds you of the Ray Stevens song. Don't look, Ethel. But it was too late.
All right, one more haunted thing because it's Halloween. The most haunted state in the United States is
You got it.
California.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly 4,000 reported ghost sightings. And
That's just the ones they report,
That's
boys and
just right.
girls.
That's just
Believe
And then-
me,
Rounding
there's so
up-
many
say
that don't get
Connecticut,
reported.
but yeah.
nope, rounding out the top 5, Delaware, Texas, New York, and Nevada. And I'm really surprised Louisiana is not on this list.
Yeah, right.
I thought that would be...
Or
Well, there
any
was a-
of, like,
Because if you're
New
really
England
in a
states.
haunted house, you don't talk about it with your neighbors.
Okay.
There was a thing this
Seriously.
morning on UFOs, but UFO sightings. They
Okay.
said that the top places, believe it or not, were Oregon, Washington State, California, and Louisiana. See, you
Louisiana?
mentioned
Oh,
Louisiana.
okay.
So why is it all like up in the
UFOs?
West Coast? A bunch of
Serious. You
I
don't
don't
crazies.
You
on
don't
the West
talk about
Coast?
it
Is that
because
what it is?
Joe, you know, there's a law that says that if it has a reputation as a haunted house, the law says it has to be divulged
A
to a
law?
buyer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
all
It has
right.
to
all
be
right.
told to the buyer.
Yep.
You do not say anything
Okay.
about it.
Smart.
Not even to your neighbors.
Smart.
You just like
You just live
you
with it
grin and bear it.
until you can sell it.
Yeah, and so I'm saying there's got to be a lot more than what they're saying.
Okay. All right, that'll wrap it up for today. Thank you very much, and a happy Halloween, everybody. Dave, thanks for coming on in.
The house I grew up in was for sale for 4 years. Did not sell. Still owned by the same owner because,
It's haunted. Maybe.
well, that's the way we saw it when we were
Okay.
growing up. And it was there on the sales thing. Hey, have a safe Halloween tonight. Make sure that if you're going out, keep in mind it could be a little breezy, a little windy out there. Supervision's always a good idea. If they're older kids, you know, the teenagers want to go out by themselves. Just remind them that there could be weather circumstances they would want to be very, very careful of. And we'll see you here, and we'll be here all day and tomorrow for donations of food.
All right, Melissa Murray, thanks for coming on in.
Thank you. Happy Halloween.
All right.
Have a good weekend, everybody, and be safe.
And Rich Lane, thanks for coming in.
And if I pass away, my house will be haunted because I'm going to come back and scare the heck out of everybody.
That's so.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Stay tuned for
High
Gary
school
Smith and the
football
crew.
tonight.
Coming up after the 9 o'clock news on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. FBI Director Kash Patel says a potential terror attack